there's learning what gifts you have received from any bad experiences, because there's always something good that's come out of it. And you can it's learning how to focus on the gifts you've received from going through that. There's emotional scale awareness. There's taking ownership. That's very powerful, because anything that you're experiencing, if you're not a child, children can't always help what they are going through. But if you're an adult and you're living a life that you dislike, it's nobody else to blame but you. You have to take ownership. Once you take ownership and stop blaming everybody else about your life, you've got a lot of power. Now you can do something about it. I dedicate a whole week to being childlike.
Love it.
So important to play, to enjoy life. Because if you don't play and enjoy life, what's it all about? You're just going through the motions of going to work, coming home, cooking dinner, eating, watching TV, going to bed, going to work. That's you're just going through the motions of life. You're not going to be happy. Of course, you're going to be depressed.
Definitely.
Especially, it depends on what you're watching too. If you're watching like the Dick Van Dyke Show, you make me, happy. But if you're watching news and a lot of dramas and a lot of you got to kind of take yourself away from the negative things in life, because there's a lot of beauty and fun and joy. If you used to like to color when you were little, why can't you color now? If you used to like to paint or dance or sing or roller skate, you can still do those things. Just because you're an adult doesn't mean that has to stop. So being childlike is very important. So yeah, there's a lot of things. There's 12 weeks worth of things that help with changing your mindset and your perspective.
I love how you dedicate an entire week on being childlike. And that's especially when you say that, it's like I automatically have an image of like Peter Pan and Captain Hook. It's like you have the old adults. It's like, oh, okay, you grew up already.
Yeah, I just bought a little jean jacket that was really cute in Wynwood Walls in Miami that had it says, "Don't grow up, it's a trap," So, it's, you got to have fun. You got to enjoy life. It's super important.
So for adults or for people listening to the show, because they're all different ages,
right?
Like if they've already grown up and they're no longer, maybe that child is like hidden or is buried deep. You mentioned some things already, like in terms of they can draw or they can paint or they can start doing. What else can they do? What can they do to have it be a kid again?
Think about what you really enjoyed when you were a kid. If it's throwing a baseball around, go throw a baseball around. I love to throw a baseball and with another adult and just catch it, with the mitt and things. And I mean, I go on, even when I don't have my grandchildren, if I'm going past the park with my dog, I'm like, okay, you wait right there. I'm going to swing a little bit, and it's okay. And I'm not worried about someone looking at me like, what is that adult doing there swinging? And like, you should be joining. I'm wondering why you're not swinging, So it is important to do the things you enjoyed as a kid, because you shouldn't lose that joy, that spark, that, the curiosity in life. It's just really important,
And I agree 100%. It's to have that spark, because if we don't have that spark, it makes it a lot harder to go through life or to be able to
for real
to share those experiences with other people. And earlier you touched upon a point briefly. I'm going to bring it up right now, but you talked about self-love. And would you say that self-love is connected to maybe having fun or enjoying life or having that spark?
Yeah, I think once you kind of start to understand self-love, you allow yourself to do those things. So self-love is another thing that I talk about in my course, but self-love seems to be the hardest thing for people I've worked with. And it was the hardest thing for me as well. I think a turning point for me during meditation, I chose to go back as a child and see what she was going through. And I chose a time when my mother was actually being very abusive to me, actually hitting me. And I, as an adult, what would I do? And I went in and I grabbed that little girl and I'm like, no, it's not your fault. You're beautiful. You're strong. You're fun. You're funny. You're gonna grow up and be this wonderful person. Just know that you are okay. And that love that I was giving that child, it clicked. It was a realization. Like, hey, that's me. I love that child. I want to protect that child. Why am I not doing that for adult me? That's me, and I have to love me and take care of me before I could properly love or take care of anyone else.